Hey, what's up, everybody? It's MMA Thursday Night Live. It's Nick from MMA Pixels. Tonight, we're going to go over my picks for UFC Fight Night 128, LFA 37, one championship. I'm going to preview some local fights: 559 Fight 64, Fighters Rep 3, Panda Cup, Rogue Fights 38. And then also, I want to recap CFC 2 that happened last weekend in Sonora. So let's get started. Got something different here. I'm going to show my screen. Look at that. All right, CFC 2 California Fighting Championships happened this weekend. We had 8 fights total. There was actually a grappling match and a youth boxing match to start the card. But the first match started with Alfonso Del Rio versus Eckerstein, and this is probably one of the fight of the night. I would say it was exciting. It was back and forth. Mark Thompson got the victory over Chris Snyder, so it was a last-minute replacement. And then Kevin Ford landed a huge head kick to take out John Matheson. Matheson recovered sort of. He never quite got up, but he seemed to be getting his bearings, and then Kevin Ford got a TKO with some more ground and pound. Josh Scott, huge victory over Matt Southern. Third round TKO, he got mount and just dominated from there. Alexa Palin looked really sharp in now her second fight against Monica Gonzalez. We didn't know much about Monica going into this. I heard rumors that she was supposed to have fought Paige Van Zant in a pancration fight. Based on her performance, I'm not so sure about that one. The Adrian Guzman versus Anthony Taylor. Guzman won by submission, rear naked choke. Omar Hussein from Team Alpha Male also won a split decision over Jordan Christensen. This one was pretty close. It could have gone either way, but Omar got the victory. And then Ryan Williams took on Cody Sons for the heavyweight title. Ryan Williams won KO in the first round, ground and pound, to become the first CFC heavyweight champion. I have all these fights recorded and up on the YouTube channel. It was my first time. Me and Kai Wu tried to do some commentating. I thought overall we did well. We had some complications going into it. The internet dropped out during one of the fights. We were live streaming, but we were able to record it, get it up there. So it worked out well. Oops, excuse me. And then now let's jump over to what's going down this week. A lot of MMA going down locally. So Fighters Rep going down in Linwood, California this Saturday. Let's take a quick look at this, guys. The look at the promos. That's pretty nice. I kind of like that. Well, I take that back. I would have chosen a different color for the background, but that's being picky. That's really nice. It's a lot more than most promotions do. You could actually see everyone who's fighting. A lot of people making their debuts, though. I don't really recognize any of these guys. Just gonna go scroll through this so you guys can see who's fighting. One thing that did jump out at me, we have a 90s matchup. Chris Cross taking on Mario Lopez. Christian Cross there. Ochoa versus Argo. Bo Brooks, big time fisherman. If you look at his Instagram, that's all you can see on his camo picture as well. It's him with a big old bass. But we have 3 title fights. Jarrett Conor versus Edwin Esquivel for the featherweight amateur title. And then the co-main event, Trevor Wells versus Jesse Velasquez for the bantamweight amateur title. And then in the main event, Khalil Benjamin versus Ernesto Leva for the lightweight championship. That's going down this weekend. Fighters Rep 3. Then we have Rose Fights 38 going down. This one's going to be in Red Bluff, California, the Wind River Resort and Casino. They only have one fight listed, but it's a big one. Michael Humphreys taking on Kevin Van Del Lander for the featherweight title. Pretty excited about this one. I'm a fan of Michael Humphreys. Haven't seen Kevin fight, but I know he's game if he's getting the title shot. This Saturday, California Xtreme Fighting 12. It's going down in Burbank, California. These guys, I really like this promotion. They usually have some big time fighters on here going. I just want to highlight Tigran Grigori Ryan versus Dante Stubbs. I said that name differently during the interview. I interviewed Dante Stubbs. It came out this morning. If you guys want to check that out. And then Spike Carlisle is fighting. He's 4-0. He's taking on Polish Minasian. Let me click on Spike here. His nickname is the Alpha Ginger. He's fighting out of San Diego. I believe he's got all finishes. Yep, so he's got 4 wins, 2 by submission and 2 by KO. So that's why I remember him. He's a very exciting fighter. Chris Beal taking on George Garcia for the, looks like the bantamweight title. Quite a bit of title matches in this one. I believe it's 4. Del Rosario versus Bryant for the 145 title. Smith Jr. taking on Dominic Clark for the 55 title. And Mike Jasper has been around for quite a bit. He fought for, I think, RFA. I believe he was on the Ultimate Fighter as well. Taking on Justin Baseman. Again, someone who's been around for a while. GKO vet. You know what? Let's see what everybody's picking here. You kind of get a judge for who everyone thinks is going to win. So, wow, Jasper's 95% picking Jasper. I think the fight's a little bit closer than that. I don't know. I'm not going to pick it, though. And then we got 559 Fight 64 going down. Going down in Dresno. They misspelled it there. Barbara Quiznos taking on Tootie Marshall. Barbara has a no contest on her record. She was supposed to fight Ashley Thiner, I believe the last 559 fights, but Ashley fainted on the way to the cage. Crazy. Castro taking on Maldonado. Austin, the Dynasty Lou, taking on Roy, the 135. And then Garcia taking on Tapia for the 145 featherweight title. Cantu getting a title shot with Yates for the, looks like, cruiserweight title. And then Christian Avalos versus Robert Davis for the welterweight title. That one is pretty high level. Christian Avalos, I believe, has all finishes as well. He just had a huge knockout. He's fighting, I believe, out of Fresno. Yeah, KO first round at 559 Fight 62. So not the last one, the one before. But he's fights at 170. Robert Davis, he's a lot bigger. He started his career, I believe, at light heavyweight. Scroll down here. I'm probably going to make you guys dizzy. Yeah, light heavyweight. He has been trimmed down to middleweight. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see his cut to 170, but he's going to be bigger. I think his height he's probably 1 inch taller. He's 5'11". Avalos is 5'10". It's going to be a good matchup. I'm excited about that one. And that's that. What do we got? Oops. Let's check out this Panda Cup on Camo website. First website I was on was Tapology, and then Camo. These are the two websites that I use the most. Between the two of them, to get the most information, I do have to use both to get it, and still sometimes to get it incorrect. But that's there's just not enough people covering the sport. That's why like people like me and others who do it, it helps out. A lot of times these fights don't even get recorded, and the results don't get put out, so you're kind of left in the dark. It's hard to be a fan. But we got Michael Green taking on Ramirez, Sanchez versus Scott there, John Garcia, Nicholas Dillman, Stephen Fong versus Edward Jensen, Javier Martinez Jr. versus Corey Corneo. I think there's IFS 34 going down also on Sunday in, let me just see where it's going at. Anaheim, California. I looked through the names and I'm not familiar with anybody here. I'll just scroll down so everyone can see, but honestly, I'm not familiar with any of these guys here or ladies. But now let's get into the main stuff, the big card, UFC, and all that. Here's my percentage. Here's 67.5 correct. Let's see. I went Bellator 196, 6-6, UFC 223, 6-9, Bellator 197, 11-12. And then last week, UFC on Fox 29, I did horrible. I did 10 out of 14. So all right, we got one championships going on. Total of 7 fights. Mathis submission round 2. Home decision. Eben by decision. I'm an Ari by decision. Oh man. Gafurov by submission round 1. Bana Ario by decision. And then in the main event, Bellingon by decision. That's one championship going down this weekend. We got LFA 37. Nielsen by decision. Collins decision. Martin submission round 2 against good old Chuck Norris. Davis submission round 1. Jackson decision. Bush by decision. And Jordan Maza Izaz KO. Perez by decision. And then the big show, UFC Fight Night 128. Spoiled my picks there. So Martin by decision. Ricky Simone by decision. I expect big things from him. He's not always the most exciting fighter. He did get a KO victory in his last fight. That's probably what got him in the house, or not in the house, I'm sorry, into the UFC. He was on the Contender Series. He won, but he did not get in. I got him by decision. Aspen Ladd taking on Leslie Smith. I think Aspen Ladd's going to pull out a decision here. Anderson KO round 1 against Patrick Cummings. And I got Hadurazadeh KO round 1 for the great Magomed, the Gladiator by decision. LaFleur by decision. Dan Hooker over John Miller by KO round 1. This should be a pretty good fight. This should be exciting. Johns by decision. Santos KO round 1 over David Branch. I got Willis fighting KO and Chase the Vanilla Gorilla Sherman. These guys are both managed by the same people. I guess they couldn't get fights, so they just decided to fight each other. Cub Swanson taking on Frankie the Answer. Edgar just coming off that knockout against Brian Ortega shortly, not very long ago. Cub Swanson, I believe he's coming off a loss as well. But I got Edgar by decision. In the main event, Edson Barbosa versus Kevin Lee. Habib just dominated Barbosa with the wrestling, but who doesn't he dominate with the wrestling? Kevin Lee is also very strong with the wrestling. I imagine doing the same thing. I think Barbosa will tire later in the rounds, and I think minus the staph infection, Kevin Lee will be able to probably pour it on and actually get a submission and finish him. So let me turn off this. All right, there I am. All right, so that's everything I had. So yeah, I went to CFC this weekend. Me and Kai did commentating. That was challenging, but really, really fun. A lot of preparation went into it. Some research, trying to get all the fighters' names and where they're coming from, and then just technical stuff, trying to get cameras and microphones. I mentioned about the internet, but also I didn't have I was trying to run 2 microphones. We ended up having to share one, so that was a little difficult. But I enjoyed it. I learned a lot, and I hope to do it more often, and get better at it. Kind of like this, I think I'm getting better. I hope I'm getting better, but I appreciate it. If you guys can, like always, just give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. The more the more people I have watching, then the more fights I can go to. Hopefully this weekend I will have updates on all these fights that I was talking about, all the regional ones, the local fights, the 559 fights, the fighter rep, Panda Cup rogue fights, all of those. Hopefully I'll have that up on my channel. So make sure, if you guys aren't subscribed, do that so that way you get notified. And like I said, I really appreciate everyone joining in, watching. It means a lot, really. Thanks, guys.